Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm teacher Roslina and I'm a MUET teacher teaching Form 6 in the historic city of Malacca. Students sometimes find it hard to keep the discussion going in part 2 of the speaking paper. In this video, we're going to look at ways on how we can continue speaking in part 2 and so gain more marks. Without further ado, let's get started. First of all, let's look at the content of this video. This video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part is I'm going to show you the sample question for speaking part 2. And the second part is I'm going to show you the ways to continue speaking in part 2. So this is the question for part 2. But before that, let me just talk to you about the question for part 1. Part 1 is the individual presentation. All 4 candidates will get a different question to present. However, for part 2, all candidates will be getting the same question to be used for the discussion. Let's take a closer look at this question for part 2. Let's read the instructions here. I'd like to apologize for this image quality as it seems to break up as I enlarge it. But I think it's still readable and I'll help you read through the question. Part 2, Group Discussion. You have 3 minutes to prepare. In your discussion, you may support or oppose the other test takers' views. Some ideas have been provided in the mind map below. You may use these ideas or come up with your own ideas. At the end of the discussion, try to decide on the best suggestion. You have 8 to 12 minutes for the discussion. I'm sorry for the typo here. It should be 8 to 12 minutes and not 8 to 10 minutes. Let's look at this instruction a little bit closer because here you can see in the instruction that there are actually 4 things that you can do. Let's look at them one by one. So the first thing you can see here is that you can support another candidate's views. Support the other candidate's views is to agree to what they are saying. The second is that you can oppose the other candidate's views. When you oppose to what the other candidates are saying, you are actually saying that you disagree with their views. The third thing that you can do to continue the discussion is to use the ideas given in the mind map. So choose any that you would like to talk about. And the last thing that you can do is for you to come up with your own ideas on the topic. This is something that you can do if you are sure of what you want to say and that it is answering the question. So these are the 4 steps that you can take to make sure that you have something to say and be part of the discussion. I would like to pause here to say something about my channel. I could see that some of you who keep watching my videos time and time again but have not yet clicked that subscribe button. So what is stopping you? If my videos are helping you in some way, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel, because it is going to help me create more videos. Let's now finish reading the question given in part 2. Situation. There are many advantages of technology. In your group, discuss the advantages of technology. Advantages of technology. Convenience at work. Connection with loved ones. Shopping made easy. Source of entertainment. Saves time. Let's look at the situation and the task given again. So the first part of the question here is the situation. There are many advantages of technology. And this here is the task for part 2. Which is to discuss the advantages of technology. Let's now review the mind map. Here in the middle is again the topic or issue for the task that you need to complete for part 2. You will be discussing in a group the advantages of technology. Let's now read through the suggestions given one by one. So the first advantage listed is the convenience at work. Convenience means the condition of being easy. It means that having technology is going to make the job you do becomes easier. For instance, is the use of online meetings during the movement control order during this pandemic. Technology has allowed us to work from home and so keeping us safe but still getting the job done. Next is connection with loved ones. With technology, you can and will feel connected even though you are miles away from your family. This is because you feel that you are connected with the loved ones via the internet, and which means that you can easily get hold of the other person easily using technology. Next is shopping made easy. Your shopping experience has become much easier with online shopping platforms that has become a norm at present times. You feel that technology has helped you in making a better choice when buying. Next item is as a source of entertainment. There are a number of different sources of entertainment that you can find using technology. They are filling up our time in most parts of the day by providing us with short doses of entertainment that we can go to and enjoy. The last advantage given is that technology saves time. Technology is saving us a lot of time, for instance, the use of online banking. Online banking has cut our time so much as we could perform our banking needs by simply using apps on our phones. Let's now move on to the second part of this video, which are the ways to continue speaking in part 2. These are the 4 steps that you can take during your discussion to keep it going as we have looked at earlier. Let's look at this more closely. The first is for you to support another candidate's point. So the other candidate has spoken and related their ideas. What you need to do is to continue the discussion. You can do this by showing support. Support means for you to agree to what the candidate has said. This could be done here in 3 ways. First of all, is for you to add new information to the same point. And this is done by giving more information about what the other candidate has said. One thing you need to remember is not to repeat the other candidate's ideas. You will get no marks for that. What you need to do is to dive deeper into the issue. Give more information that will add value to the discussion. Next is for you to elaborate the same point using a different point of view. This can be done with the use of a different person's perspective. That means you will be using the same content points, but you are going to give the views from another person's perspective, like talking about the issue from the perspective of a parent or a teacher, for instance. Another is for you to add different examples. You will be talking about the same points, but elaborating more using totally different examples. Also, provide some explanation by linking your examples to the points you are talking about. This will show some critical thinking on your part. Let's look at the other ways to continue speaking in part 2. The second thing that you can do to keep the conversation going is for you to disagree to a point given. I need to say also that you will need to do this with care. This is because it is less likely that you should disagree with the other candidates, as the 5 points given would be good and valid suggestions to the task. But it can be done if you have a valid point for disagreeing. Disagreeing also should be done politely. So, how do you disagree politely? First of all, ask if you can say something about the point. As the candidate finishes, you can interrupt and ask if you can say something about the point given. Next, you can say that you understand what the candidate is saying. However, you can say that you do not totally agree with it. Then, you can say your views of why you disagree with the point. Add some more information of why you feel that way. Make your points clear. The last thing that you need to remember is to avoid putting down the other candidate's views. Putting down means to make the candidate's point seems less important. Do not do this. The other candidate's point is still valid. Let's now move on to the third step you can take to make sure that you continue talking in the discussion for part 2. You can do this by choosing another point from the mind map given. So how do you choose a point? First thing first is for you to choose a point that is easy for you. This is the point that you can explain more about because you have some information on it. This will make you be able to talk about it with ease. You should also choose a point that you have examples to use. These examples that you add will make your points seem to be well thought of. Let's now move on to the last step that you can take to make sure that you continue talking in part 2. The fourth step that you can take is for you to add your own new point. This would be a fresh new point that you will come up with by yourself. You will need to first of all say that you have another different points that you would like to add. This will highlight to the examiners that you are providing your own original point. Coming up with your own point could be made easier if you could put yourself in the situation given. Then come up with another idea of what you feel is suitable to add to the other points. Think about one other advantage or another suggestion that will suit you and that you believe is true. Of course, you will need to explain more on this idea. Focus your explanation on making it become clearer and easier for the others to understand and to agree with you. Also, give an example to clarify your idea. This video ends here, and remember to check out my next video. I will see you soon. Goodbye and take care.